Hey there guys, and welcome back to, well, vote totaling game type thing. Over the last almost a week, it's been actually since last Friday, it's Wednesday today, I went ahead and had a vote on what I should play next. And the contenders were Heavy Rain, Valkyria Chronicles, and Tales of the Abyss. Very quickly, Heavy Rain just started getting destroyed, and the only two real contenders were Valkyria Chronicles and Tales of the Abyss. Heavy Rain pretty much got destroyed. So it's time to total up the votes. I am going to do something a little bit different than I said I would, because originally what I said was that you can either vote for the game you want me to see me play, or if there's just a game you just really don't like or don't care for, or don't think I'd like or whatever, you can vote against it and just be like, dude, you really don't need to play this game. Trouble is, when it came down to just these two, a lot of people just started voting against the game that they didn't want. You know, it'd be like, they even say in the comments, they'd be like, well, I'm voting against Valkyria Chronicles because I'm rooting for Tales of the Abyss. Well, that doesn't mean you don't want to see Valkyria Chronicles. That means you want to see Tales of the Abyss. You see, people voted against Heavy Rain because they really didn't want Heavy Rain. They were like, I'm voting against Heavy Rain because I don't think it really is well suited for a blind LP. That's really them saying, I do not want you doing Heavy Rain. I don't really care about the other two, but when you're voting against Valkyria because you know Heavy Rain won't win and you're aiming for Tales of the Abyss, you're just really voting for Tales of the Abyss. So, when I tally up these votes, I'm going to be going ahead and just counting votes that way. So, anti-Valkyria Chronicles will be Tales of the Abyss votes, anti-Tales of the Abyss votes will be Valkyria Chronicle votes. So, let's start looking, shall we? Going through the comments, we had Miss Shittery. Wow, I probably completely mangled your name there. Is it Miss Hillary? Something like that. But anyway, they say, you need to play Valkyria Chronicles. I don't know if this means anything to you, but Valkyria Chronicles was done by basically the same team that did Skies of Arcadia. So, +1 Valkyria Chronicles. I'm skipping the ones that don't actually vote. So, next up, we had M. Roltul Kuking. Interesting. Said, vote Tales of the Abyss. So, we were up to 1-1. Then we had Valkyria Chronicles from Alex84074. And then definitely Valkyria Chronicles from Miracle Death. So Valkyria Chronicles went up 3-1. But then Tales of the Abyss came back from Pokemon 2 Battle. But then Beta 21 came right back with Valkyria Chronicles. We have a vote from Heavy Rain from the decks, which, thank you, unfortunately Heavy Rain's kind of out of it by now. Valkyria Chronicles from Game Freaks 1996. And yet another Valkyria Chronicles from Archimond X. So Valkyria Chronicles took a very dominant lead, but all of a sudden, immediately as it started to look kind of like one-sided, we had Venuscilla, Tales of the Abyss, Sunny Power with Tales of the Abyss, and the Eniwall with Tales of the Abyss. So it started getting very close again. Then we had Logi that said, I'm not really interested in seeing Heavy Rain. I just don't think it's the kind of game which is conducive to LPing. Oh, I'm sorry. He did actually vote, so I shouldn't be reading this anyway. But that is an example of a good anti-vote there. You know, it actually gives reasons. Alright, we had Leader Without a Plan that said, I have to disagree with Logi that I saw a great Let's Play of the game, and I feel it's a great game to be played blind. But if I had to vote, I'd go with Tales of the Abyss. And then I Stole Cars chimed in with, from an ongoing little conversation we've been having, where I Stole Cars was trying to vote against like Heart of the Swarm and the things that I said I was definitely going to play. But I Stole Cars did chime up with basically, fine, you're dumb, but I'll vote for Valkyria Chronicles then. It looks like an anime fighter, which doesn't look that bad. So yep, one more for Valkyria Chronicles. Then Gold Spider agrees, Tales of the Abyss. And Shadow L said Valkyria Chronicles was a great one to play. They'd seen Mage Knight 404's Let's Play of it and would like to see it from my point of view. So great! I'm not going to watch the other one because that would kind of ruin the whole idea of a blind. Kieran Singer said they voted against Valkyria Chronicles, but that's all they said. And what's really curious about that is that this was the first anti-vote I got, but the other two had both said why they were voting against. This one just against, so that's why I'm going to count this as a vote for Tales of the Abyss rather than actually like a -2 against Valkyria Chronicles, because that seems to be what you're actually going for. Then 445 Azure said Tales of the Abyss. Ryu Sarva voted against Tales of the Abyss because they haven't played it, and they're cheering for Valkyria Chronicles. So again, you can kind of see that's not they're not actually saying I don't want to see Tales of the Abyss. They're just saying I'd rather see you play this one. So I'm counting that as a vote for Valkyria Chronicles. Then Rocco Bloom said they're voting against Valkyria Chronicles through the Abyss. Same thing. Not really the way I told you guys to vote. So counting that as a vote for Tales. Valkyria Chronicles was voted for by Sliding Bird. Like Free Bird, but not quite. Crazy Green Gamer said was voting for Valkyria Chronicles. Thank you, Crazy Green. He was actually one that recommended it, and one of my oldest and most vocal fans. Then we had some talking. Jane Dow voted against Valkyria Chronicles, so counting as a vote for Tales of the Abyss. And then Rob Bond voted for Valkyria Chronicles. Lex Luthor voted against Valkyria Chronicles, and that's all the votes I have up until now. So, drum roll, what do we look like? Wasn't really expecting that one. So, democracy has failed. Looks like I get to decide something. And which game do I play when they both effectively gotten the exact same amount of support? Well, the first thing I did is I went over to a site that kind of logs how long it takes to play games, and unfortunately both Valkyria Chronicles and Tales of the Abyss log in at between 42 and 45 hours to play through. If there was one that was clearly shorter, I was going to play that one, because that way I could get through it and get to the other one, since there's clearly a lot of support for both sides of this. Ryu Sar did point out that all the people that voted against Valkyria Chronicles were accounts that got created after I posted this video, which is a little weird. And there is a possibility that there's some vote fixing going on. But honestly, I'm not going to, sway it in that direction just because of that. I don't want to presume people are cheating. That's kind of a really jerky thing to do. However, it does come down to me to pick which way to go. And the way I'm going to end up doing that is I am going to go in the favor of Valkyria Chronicles, for the very simple reason that it is supported by two of my most prolific posters and the ones that have been supporting me ever since Persona 3. I don't like to play favorites. I was going to go with whatever the vote said. I wasn't going to, sway, and I really didn't know. But the fact that both Crazy Green Gamer and I Stole Cars, who have been some of the most prolific posters I've had, and have just given me all kinds of support through my Let's Plays, both of them are saying Valkyria Chronicles. If I'm left with just really, I don't have a clear answer, there's very even support, and there's a possibility of cheating on one side, plus they're on the other side, I'm going to go with Valkyria. So, if you want Tales of the Abyss, I'm sorry, I will get to Tales of the Abyss, I promise. This is not the end of Tales. As soon as I finish Valkyria, I'm going to move on to Tales of the Abyss. Do not worry, but I will be doing Valkyria Chronicles first. Expect the first upload of Valkyria Chronicles to come up tomorrow. Or possibly today, if it's Thursday by the time I get all this compiled and put it up. I'm going to go and try and get that up. Everything did come in today, but unfortunately it came in before I got home from work and the office is already closed. So I don't actually have it with me, so I can't record in HD just yet. So, darn it, but I've almost got everything I need. And before someone says, well, hey, if you can't record in HD, PS2, you can play Tales of the Abyss. Well, I also kind of need Tales of the Abyss, and it's also in the office. So, not really going to work. But again, thank you for participating. Thank you for voting. If you cheated, don't thank you for cheating. But I'm going to assume that all of you guys just, were kind of following along, watching the playlist, and then got to the end of the playlist and were like, oh crap, I need a YouTube account so I can subscribe to this guy, because I'm not going to be able to find him after this otherwise. I'm going to assume you guys are being legit. So, thank you very much for all of your continual support, and I'll see you tomorrow for Fun with Tanks! Woohoo! Or, well, a tank. I assume there's going to be more than one.